Hello. Okay, we are recording. Guys, welcome back to my podcast. I have finally renamed it. Yes, that's correct. I have called it, well, you actually know because you're listening, so there's probably no point in me telling you, but I've called it Backseat Positivity. I don't know why. The name kind of came to me and I was like, I do know why, but I don't know where it came from. I was just kind of like, it feels right, you know when something just feels, you're like, yeah, I'm feeling this. So that's what I did. And I made some really cool artwork. I don't know, go look at it. On anywhere you stream podcasts. But it's really funky, it's fun. I may change my face on it a bit and just make it like, not a picture, like I might make it cartoony. It's also quite busy. The artwork is quite busy, but that just embodies me, busy. I'm a busy person. Also, guys, if you're just listening on the podcast, I do actually record these via video, and I put them on my Patreon page, which I will link in the description or whatever. It's Dawn Barlow, I think. Might actually be Diaries of a Doctor. Oh, I can't remember. I'll link it anyway in the description. Guys, today I was going to talk about something very different to what I have actually chosen to talk about. It was a last minute plot twist because I didn't want to talk about what I was going to talk about. Basically, I've had a bit of a shit day. In fact, not a shit day, probably a shit week, and it's only Monday. So instead of doing dating on Tinder, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that'll be probably my next ep. So subscribe for that one. That will be filled with, some fun stories, and is online dating all it is cracked up to be? But today I'm doing the podcast. I got 99 problems, but the bitch ain't one. In fact, I need to change it so it's not bitch because maybe it's I got 99 problems, but the podcast ain't one. It kind of is actually a bit because I had to really force myself to sit down and do this. It's not like I don't like doing it. It's just I'm not in the mood. But look, I'm trying to be positive and happy and we're going to have a good time. So, and hopefully it's going to be like a bit helpful. So 99 problems, but the podcast ain't one. The way that I in fact, why don't I talk about that later? How did I reframe the podcast as not being one of my problems? Why does life have so many problems? Well, life just kind of is one big problem because money solves a lot of problems, right? But it also creates a lot of problems. Because, not saying I've got a lot of money at the moment. Actually, it's quite the opposite. We'll get into that in a minute. Basically, if you have money, you think money solves all your problems, but do you have friends? Maybe not. And do you have, how do you know if people are actually want to be your friend because they like you or because you have money? You don't know. So that is a problem. Everybody has problems. That is the reason. Oh, sorry, I've got quite an itchy head. Because I'm wearing this hat like full time. Wearing this hat, and if you're on the video, hello, I just waved. Wearing this hat is currently my full-time job, and I think I look cool, to be honest. It's basically we're going through a little winter freeze wave in Britain, and keeping your head warm is the best way to keep warm. I've also had a scarf on, but it's not currently on, but I also at that point look a bit like a bank robber, so Watch out. Fine. Why does life have so many problems? Can somebody tell me, please? I'm waiting. I actually don't know. I think life is just one big problem. I don't know how else to put it. Even if we had less stuff, if I had less stuff, if I didn't have a phone, if I didn't have a car that could break and be a problem, if I didn't have messages on my phone, that were annoying me, if I didn't have people calling me, if I didn't have plants to look after, if I were a cave person, I would still have problems. I would be cold. I would have to go out and get wood every day. The fire might go out and then I would have to relight it somehow. I have to go and get water every day. A bear might come into my cave and eat me. My fire, it might be in my cave, and then it might fill my cave with smoke. I need to go and get food. Did I say water? I mean, that's quite important, so I'll say it twice. So even if you simplify life to the bare bones, you still got problems. And even if, let's say I lived the life of luxury, sitting by the swimming pool every day, waiters bringing me cocktails and doing anything I ask them to do because I'm paying them. Do I still have problems? Yeah, probably. I might get sunburnt. I might get, I don't know, fat because I'm not moving, because I'm just, everybody's bringing me food and then I just eat loads. I don't have a purpose in life. That's a big problem. I think people underestimate that problem. I might get those, when you get really wrinkly fingers because I'm sitting in the pool too long. That's a problem. I might get, I'm running out of problems now, sitting by the beach. I might get sand in my drink. I might, it's getting a bit tedious now, isn't it? I'm sure there are other problems. Okay, I can't think of any. Look, what I'm saying, I might break a nail. A bug might fly into my eye. I might slip and hit my head by the pool. Then I might fall in the pool and I might drown. Look, still problems. There are still problems. So, yeah, lots of problems. But let's talk about how many problems I've had today. That's fun, isn't it? Okay. As I said earlier, wearing my hat is my full-time job because I don't have a job. And money is not an issue, but I don't want to spend it because I want to not work for as long as possible. As in, not work. I just don't want to go back to hospital and work in the hospital. So I want to change my job. It's not that I am being lazy and not wanting to work. In fact, I do a lot of work, podcasting, lots of work. I write, I make videos, work. That's what I call my work anyway. I understand it's unconventional, but there we go. It is a lot of work. Would you believe it? Making videos has been a problem for me today because I have not had a lot of time. Time is the thing that evades me because when I had a job, I would pay people to do stuff for me. Because, delegation and time is very important. You can get more money, you can't get more time. But the issue is I'm not making money, so I don't want to spend it. So I am therefore spending more time doing stuff that I could delegate. you could argue that that's a bad decision, but I'm also trying to, not spend loads of money. It's very hard. I am spending some money on some delegation of things, but a significant amount less, sadly. Delegating stuff does take away problems, but it also creates problems. Do a job, make a job, because you get something done, but then there's just a new thing that comes along. It's like, oh, I finished editing this video for you, for example. Somebody talking to me, and now I need to go and watch it, but there might be a problem with it, then I've got to send back edits, and then I've got to rewatch it. And then you've got, I've got to think of a thumbnail, and I've got to make a thumbnail, and I've got to think of a title and do the SEO, and it's so much more than just somebody edits my video, done, bosh, sorted. No, because they come back with problems. Okay, shopping. That was one of my problems today. Hey, sorry, that was a sort of hiccup. I don't really enjoy it, although it feels pretty great having food. Recently I've kind of just opened the fridge and it's been like, Stilton, mouldy tomatoes, vacuum packed boiled potatoes, one duck egg. That's kind of been it. Oh, and like a free Lucozade that I got from Deliveroo, and delivery leftovers. Now it is abundantly, lusciously plump, my fridge, I mean. So anyway, I went shopping and I really hate it. Oh my God. It wasn't as bad as I thought, to be fair, but it's a problem for me. I just avoid it. I don't want to do it. I think it's because I don't want to spend money at the moment, but I also think I don't want to spend time with lots of people in a shop. And I have this issue where I want to shop locally, but also I want everything in the same place. So I'm battling my I don't like conglomerates, but also shopping in small businesses is hard work, so that's a problem. By the way, I'd like to point out that this podcast does get a lot more positive, in about maybe 10 minutes. So hold on, if you're going to click off, just hold your horses a minute, okay? Because things are about to change. Oh, also, I just remembered another problem that I have that I haven't managed to fix yet, but it's I've lost my remote for my TV, which may be a good thing. I was hoping it would be in here, but it's not. I honestly don't know where it is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's literally disappeared off the face of the planet. I'm starting to think, literally this is what has been going through my mind. Has somebody broken in and taken my remote? And maybe it's in my dressing gown pocket. I didn't check that, to be fair. That's a I didn't wear it yesterday. Anyway, that's a problem because I can't turn my TV on without the remote. I actually don't think I can. I physically can't do it. Who makes a TV without buttons? That is terrible design flaw there. So people being dicks, well, I don't know if I need to explain that one. Probably do, but I'm not going to go into it in huge detail. But some people are just annoying, aren't they? They're just horrible people. I don't want to speak to them. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to spend time with them. And some people are lovely. In fact, fucking hell, I'd love to spend time with you. But I've had a bit of, dick vibes today. That was a weird sentence. Yeah, I just can't be dealing with those humans. Not enough time. Well, I've mentioned that one. That's a product of my own doing right there. Okay, let's move on to the little ones, the little problems. So today I was in this room at about what time is it? 1 o'clock maybe in the afternoon. The sun shines right in through that window over there. And it shines literally here, like right onto this, onto me. So I can't podcast at that time of day because the lighting is horrendous. I tried to do some videos in here. It was really bad. There are no curtains. I understand these are big first world problems, okay? I get it. I'm not saying they're not. I understand, Dawn, there are bigger problems in the world. Yes, I understand that. I get it. In fact, talking about bigger problems in the world, I do have a care package that I've been meaning to send to Tanzania, literally a whole suitcase full of stuff, like 30 kilos. But now I don't have a job, and I'm like, it's 150 quid to ship it there. I think I just need to bite the bullet and do it. But anyway, yeah, I understand bigger problems in life. People are starving and people, can't afford energy and people are dying or whatever. It's all relative, okay? I'm not saying that those problems don't exist. I'm not saying my problems are more important than theirs. Oh my God, what just happened? I'm not saying their problems are less important than mine. I'm just saying these are my today problems, okay? It's all relative. Okay. And then when the light shines, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going from people are starving in the world and there's war and terror. And then I'm like, and then the light shines into my room and illuminates all the dust flying around. Don't you hate it when you can actively see dirt? Like the light just enhances that, doesn't it? That's a big sad problem. Ooh, I did forget another problem. I still can't get my teeth together. I've got like a weird tooth problem, which is another thing I'm going to the dentist about, and that's going to cost me a lot of money. So more money. The thought of going back to the hospital fills me with great dread. So no, I do have another job lined up, but I need to sign the contract for it, and I can work from home. Oh! If any doctors listen to this, and you don't want to work in the hell hospital anymore, let me know. I'll let you know. I'll do an episode on how to, I don't know, work from home as a doctor. Because it's possible. It's not paid as well. I'm going to be honest, right? But you have to consider stress. You get paid for, one, your convenience, two, the fact that you are putting yourself through hell, essentially. The better paid jobs are the ones that are shitter. Worse hours, busier, more stressful. So, like, yeah, you just got to figure out what's more important. And I think I've been veering on the money side of things for a bit too long. And now I'm actually like, positivity has taken a backseat. No, now I'm I want to live the life that I want to live. And if that means that I earn less money, maybe that's the case. Anyway, okay, let me mention another problem, and then that's it with the problems, okay? That's all my problems. I've just laid them all out. There are so many cables in this room. It is painful. In fact, I thought if this were my own house, I would put in about 20 more plugs. No, not 20. There's only 2. There's literally 2 plugs in this room. It was built in the 1930s, what do you expect, but it's awful. So I've got cables strewn across everywhere because there are no plugs. There are 2 plugs in a room that is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like, surely it's not that big. Anyway, maybe 20 meters squared. Yeah, I reckon so. Can you believe it? 2 fucking plugs. And in here, I've got a printer. I've got a laptop. I've got a light that's for filming. I've got a heating mat for some of my plants, which are a bit sensitive. I've got my laptop, my monitor, my microphone, my shredder. Yes, I own a shredder. And many more things that I'd like to plug in, but I can't. Anyway, there's a plug literally right outside, so I plug it in and then I have extension leads, but there's cables everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, like, it's a health and safety hazard. It really hurts me. So that's all my problems. I'm glad I got them off my chest, and that's something we'll talk about in a bit. Oh, another problem is it's quite cold. I have to wear my hat full time, and it's getting a little bit itchy now. Okay, so there we go. Right, I've written down products. Try to solve our problems. Okay, I'm just gonna grab this. For those of you who are listening and not actually viewing, which it makes me very sad, come and watch me. Patreon page. Find it in the description. In fact, let me find it right now, because then you'll just be able to find it. And if I otherwise you'll just be like, I'm not going to look at that. But if I tell you what the name is, there we go. Okay, if I tell you what the name is, then you'll be like, okay, I'll remember that. Right there, Patreon. Yeah, it is Diaries of a Doctor. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Diaries of a Doctor. I have 0 patrons, and I've made £0 per month. So, I mean, I only started advertising it like 1 episode ago, so I think it would just be really nice, like, this is a bit of a segue, but it would be really nice for me to feel like somebody supports me, which is a really tragic thing to say, but I feel like nobody listens to the podcast, nobody cares, and yeah, that got a bit deep, didn't it? But yeah, it would. And actually, there's some really affordable plans on there. Wow. Maybe I should put an even cheaper one on there. At the moment, there's like £5 per month, 10, 25, 50, if you were feeling really crazy. But yeah, £5 a month. It's not much, is it? It's a coffee. It's a pint. But to me, it's more than that. It's a new life. Also, I would just love to know, you can comment on there, I think, and you can just tell me what you want me to talk about, and I will talk about it. I can talk about literally anything. In fact, I have a problem in that I talk about too much. Right, anyway, so what I was showing you was my tripod. This is a tripod, yes, can you believe it? In fact, I'll show you that it's a tripod by opening it out, and it's 3 pods. It's 3-pronged, and it fits a camera. Okay, what problem does this solve? I tell you what it solves. Number 1, makes your camera not be on the floor. You don't want your DSLR going on the floor, do you? Number 2, you can tilt your camera in multiple different ways. Wow, front ways, up ways, left, right. You can also have it a bit higher. You can have it a bit lower. It also stops your camera from falling over. Oop, oop. What else does it do? You can also hold your camera like this. Wow. I mean, currently I think that's it for this one. This one's quite stable. This one actually does solve a problem. It's one that is sort of wide based so that your camera doesn't fall over, it holds the weight of it. Anyway, my point is there are solutions to your problem. Products, in fact. Now, they don't need to exist. Realistically, I could just put my camera on the floor, or I could carry a little box around with me and put my camera on that, prop it up against things. But there are things that make our life easier, and sometimes we need to embrace them. But sometimes I think it's gone a little bit too far, because, for example, now this is one that I don't necessarily agree with, and I don't think I'll own: an Apple Watch. What's the fucking purpose of that? Oh, I want to know who's messaging me like right away, so I don't have to get my phone out my pocket, and I can tell the time. What else does it do? Measures your step count and your heart rate. I don't know. It feels a little bit much, like a bit like over analyzing your life, and you're like over connected to the internet sphere, like technology. Oh my god. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. I do this all the time. Okay. Yeah, it just feels a bit much. Like, do we actually need all of this technology? Probably not. I'm sure I've got lots of pointless shit in my life. Oh, that was a bit aggressive. My mum says I swear too much, so I've only sworn 3 times in 30 minutes. So I'm doing quite well at, one swear word every 10 minutes so far. Okay, what was I talking about next? Can we have fewer problems? Well, yeah, we can if we, you can get products, like I said. But I don't think they solve all of our problems. For example, I can't really think of many products that make me more money. Maybe a money machine, but then that's actually not legal. So, I don't know. I did ask Elon Musk for $1 million. Twitter was my medium for that. He didn't respond. So if somebody thinks of a great, obviously there's obvious ones like, Shopify, but I wouldn't really, it's not like an easy way to make money. I think people dress that up and go, you just make a Shopify account and you open a store and then you will be a millionaire. No, it's not the fucking case. I wish people were honest about that. In fact, I'm being honest right now about it. Look, I have my own online store and it's very hard work. So, yeah, not easy. Can we have fewer problems? I forgot to answer the question. I think we can, yes. Like I said, products, but also I think, and I'm going to get onto it in a minute. Let me just reset the camera because it's going to go off. Ouch. I tried looking for a way. Oh, that's another problem. I don't know how to figure out how to record for longer than 30 minutes on my camera. So if anybody knows the answer to that, I would love to know. It does it on my GoPro, sorry. But also I don't want to record on my GoPro. The quality isn't as good, and the video quality, but then I guess nobody's watching it, so maybe it doesn't actually matter. And actually I overlay the audio onto the video anyway, so again, maybe it doesn't actually matter. Okay, yes, we can have fewer problems. I do think in some ways, let's talk about myself here. I don't know about other people, but I do create more problems for myself. I think I could probably have fewer problems if I made my life easier. I know, what a revelation. But the issue is I like doing lots of things. That's a problem in itself. I feel like the transcript for this podcast is literally going to be like, I've said problem like 1,000 times. I'd be quite interested to see how many times I've said problem in this. Christ, it's quite late, guys. It's nearly 12 o'clock at night. So we're having a bit of a DMC at midnight, aren't we? I think, yeah, you could do less stuff. I do think when your problems get a bit much, as they're feeling a bit at the moment, just tone it down. Do less stuff, because the more stuff you do, the more problems you have. I've got a podcast, a blog, a business, a YouTube channel, and I have to do all the shorts and stuff. So trying to maybe dial back on some of that stuff. And for me, the stuff that takes the hit when I have lots of stuff to do is actually just living, which sounds really stupid, but I don't want to go shopping. I don't want to I stop eating. Or eating properly anyway. I, don't drink water. I'm talking about water. I could really do with some right now. I, skip the toilet and then I'm like, oh shit, I really need it. Oh, there's another swear word. So yeah, have a product, make less problems, make your life less busy, but also delegating appropriately. I'm not saying that solves your problem. Sometimes you just want to give somebody this problem and make it go away. I'm not saying it always does. It's 50-50. Really, one, it depends who you're handing it to. Two, it depends what you're handing to them and whether they can do it. And three, it depends whether they kind of need your approval to finish the problem. Or, let's say at work or something, I'm like, oh, can you go and do this discharge summary to somebody? Most of the time they don't need me to go and check it afterwards. But they might come back with more questions. So, swings and roundabouts. Not even sure what that means. Swings and roundabouts. And I think a lot of the time, as soon as you fix one, another one comes along to swing and hit you. It comes around and swings and hits you in the face like a new problem would. But look, now we're moving on to the good part. How can we make problems not a problem? 99 problems, but the problems ain't one. I do feel like I've got 99 problems at the moment. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Okay, so I think problems, and I've said the word problems a lot, maybe I need to change it, they're a bit of a headspace. So if you think something is a problem, that is it's kind of a negative way to think about it, isn't it? I'm going to completely flip everything I've just said on its head. Are you ready? Uh-huh. You can see them in a different way and reshape them to become like a challenge or an activity. So for me, videoing every day is fucking hard. It's a problem. It's difficult, but it's a challenge and I want to do it. So with videoing every day or posting a video every day, it's, I'm going to have every day more than one video to review, send feedback on and get it back. I'm doing it for a challenge, but I'm also doing it to try and work on my perfectionism because anyway, I've talked about that in other things, but whatever. So we can maybe see it as an activity. So for me, daily videoing, I don't want to say daily vlogging. It kind of is, but some of them are not vlogs, I wouldn't say. Anyway, semantics. The daily videos are a challenge, an activity. And I think activities can... Oh, sorry, I've got my itchy head again. Activities can become problems when stress happens, and I think stress happens sometimes from external things, but also because you've got too many activities going on at once. Talking to myself here, really. I feel like I'm just counselling myself, but not very well. Because, look, I have not got everything I wanted to do done today, and I'm going to be nice to myself about it. It's okay, Dawn. It's okay. Just giving myself a little hug. Because it was a busy day and there's, life happens, all right? Life happens and you just got to roll with it. You also need to be a human and exist and look after yourself and live, okay? So, whatever. And then I think stress appears I've written activities become problems when stress comes into the mix, and stress appears when there are too many problems. Now, I'd like you to decode that because my brain has just died. It's like it's not working anymore. May have had a hemorrhage, I don't know. No, I don't know what's happened. It's just, I think I've reached that point, It's like I've talked constantly for 45 minutes. Oops. And that's what happens. I was only planning on podcasting for half an hour, but then I just talk and I 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 talk, and it never ends, really. So, the other day I did a video on getting over being overwhelmed, and for me, writing down all of my problems is literally like therapy. It's so good. Just literally like every little thing. If you think, okay, I've got to make a video, no, don't just write down I've got to make a video. Write down I've got to script. I've got to video this specific thing. I've got to video this. I've got to video this. Get it all down, because the more things you tick off, the better you'll feel. And it'll make you feel like you've done loads. It'll also get it all out of your brain. Yes, you can look at like 100 things that you've not done and then 10 that you have, but at least they're out of your brain. Because the issue that I have is I've got 100 problems in my brain, or 99, and they're just swimming around and they're all like fighting for attention, and then they're all like, don't forget about me. So I like to just get them all out, and then my brain can relax and go, okay, I'm not going to forget that. Fine, let's just start with one small thing at a time. And that is the key. I try to get as many of the small things done as I can. So if it's like dust my computer, that's the first thing that came to my head. I'm just going to dust my computer, which I did today actually, and then I'm going to take it off. Done. I talked about this earlier. Take some of the load off. If you can delegate. It's great. Delegating is great. Delegate is great. Share some of your problems. Counselling, talking to people. You don't have to pay for it. You can just talk to people. You can start a podcast, or you can just come sit here. Come sit right here, and we'll talk about your problems. I'll do it. I will. Send me a message. contact@diariesofadoctor.com. Go on my Patreon page, like I said. Get help with your problems. That's kind of like delegating. Is it? Oh, I guess I meant like not delegating, but like, oh yeah, I'll come and help you do that thing. Like, not saying, can you do this for me? Like getting somebody to come and help you do it at the same time. And then, not just counselling, guys. I've been going to the improv theatre probably like 3 times a week. Probably where I'm spending most of my money, to be honest. But it is helping me so much. I'm happier. I'm having a good time. I'm performing. I'm learning new things. I'm becoming a freer person. So good. But also, improv kind of feels like a counselling session. At the beginning and the end, we all have a check-in and a check-out, and it feels like we're a big family. Honestly, I feel like I know these people, or like someone, we just end up getting very emotional. And I know people think, oh, I'm not good enough at improv, or improv's like the most scary thing in the world to me. Isn't that a reason to do something? And also, honestly, it's not that scary. Like, everyone's so nice, everybody wants to be there, everybody wants to have a good time. So go check it out. If you're in Bristol, send me a message. I'll take you. Why don't you just go off, start by watching one of their performances, and then you'll be like, fuck, these are really great people. They're really funny, they're fun, they're outgoing. I can talk to them about anything. Conversation is easy. And then just go again. Go next week. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, maybe I will try a taster session. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But just meeting the people at the improv is great. And then if you do want to, try a taster session. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I love this. Because that's what I did. Also, another reason why improv is amazing is because you forget about all of your problems when you're there. It's like mindfulness. But the problem is when I do mindfulness is I get so distracted. I try and do meditation rather than mindfulness, because mindfulness is like, I can, water my plants and not think about other things. Meditation is like, you don't have to pull that face though. But improv, you laugh. That helps with problem issues. And you also just become so mindful because you are literally like focusing on what is happening right in front of you. You forget about the world, you forget about everything else, you forget about your problems just for a second, and then you realise, wow, the world didn't end. The world didn't end when I forgot about my problems. They might not be that significant after all. And there we go. That's my 40 minutes of... Actually, it was only 40 minutes. I thought it was longer than that. But there we go. I have talked continuously for 40 minutes. Well done, me. Well done. Guys, if you did like this, please follow it and rate it. Give me a review on wherever you listen to podcasts. Please do, because it gets out to other people, and I want to help other people. I want to connect. I want to make a community, please. And join me on Patreon. Maybe I should create a lower tier. I don't know. Is £5 a month too much? I feel like it's not. But I guess you actually have to give a shit about what I say. And whatever. I'd love it if I heard from you. I really would. If you listen to the end, that's a little round of applause for you, because that was... You listened to me saying problems over and over and over again, which is quite a feat. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. I've committed myself to podcasting 3 times a week. I'm going to upload it on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Fridays. Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. Cool. Bye!